Hey, everybody,
we're talking about
welcome to Tales
Wonder Man.
All right, well, that was bad. Hey, everybody, welcome to Tales from the Long Box, where the Big Two talk about the Big Two. Today, we're going to be talking about... What? Now's your time, Marshall.
Oh, I'm coming back to life.
He's back.
I'm coming back to life as a Zuvembi.
He's back. We're going to talk about that. Just like the character we're talking about today, Wonder
Man.
Wait, what?
Wonder Man.
No wonder your notes were so confusing.
It doesn't say Wonder Man, does it?
No, I just, it's
a Wonder Man.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're here back again to talk about Wonder Man. The new TV show is coming out very soon. I think next week by the
January
time you're listening to it.
January 27th of 2026, we'll have the first and maybe only season of this show. We'll see how it goes.
Starring Abdul Yahya Mateen and...
the other way around. Starring Yahya Abdul Mateen the second.
Crap.
I got you.
And
Ben Kingsley.
Back as Trevor Slattery.
Yeah.
And other people.
Yes.
It looks very good. Like, it looks great.
It looks solid. It looks like it looks like it has like actual artistic
Just looks like a show.
choices being made.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I'm really interested to see how they turn it into a big fight with a lot of gray and colors at the end.
Yeah, and a sky beam.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to see how this plays out. What villains? It's interesting to me that we kind of just know nothing about what the villain of the show is, what the real story of the show is, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's only kind of now being revealed that the concept is that superheroes are not allowed to be in film, apparently.
Yeah.
I can't remember the reasons why or anything.
Fun idea, yeah.
It is interesting.
I don't know if we know yet, but...
So he has to like hide that he's got powers.
Some of it, like the fact that we don't know who the villain is or like what the overall plot looks like. Next week, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing a little review of the show.
Spoilerful.
Yes. Yeah. So if you don't want spoilers till after you see the show, make sure you watch all the way through, then come back and watch us.
Yep.
But for this week, we're going to be talking about the comics that inspired this new show and inspired this character specifically.
Yeah. Who the heck is Wonder Man? Who is Simon Williams? Because he's not that well known of a character, even among people who do read comics. Like, we know who Wonder Man is and that he's there and that he can fly around and punch real good, but like, who is he and what's his deal?
Pretty powerful character.
Yeah.
And he's been in the Avengers team for almost as long as it's existed. Like, since
he's
year
been
one
in the universe for that long.
You're right. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. He's at least, he's just, this really, really old classic character that people should know about.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. So let's jump into it. His first performance.
Yeah.
Was in Avengers number 9.
Yes.
The Avengers have their own stuff going on and they're still figuring out how to work as a team.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Baron Zemo, who's already been spurned by them, along with the
Masters of Evil.
Zemo, it's the Enchantress, and it's the Executioner, who are three just classic.
Yeah. OGs.
Old school like Avengers villains. They're scheming. They're rubbing their hands together. They're licking their lips.
How do we kill the Avengers today?
Yeah, I just want to mess with the Avengers.
My last plan to kill the Avengers didn't end up with the Avengers being killed.
But I scampered away at the end.
How can I kill the Avengers now?
So this time Zemo goes, well, I have these ionic rays that I can put in somebody.
Yeah, maybe I'll shoot a boy with these.
Yeah, they'll give them superpowers. Let's find somebody who's got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So who they find is Simon Williams, who is this industrialist, this kind of like Nepo baby type of dude.
Yeah, he's the son of a very successful industrialist, but then once he took over from his father, the company basically fell apart because anytime they came up with something, Stark Tech then made a better version of it and patented that version of it.
Yeah, so his patents were worthless at that point.
So he goes completely out of business, and that's how Zemo is able to then appeal to him and say like, hey, here's something that I'll pay you to do.
Totally.
Take out the Avengers.
Yeah, absolutely. Which just makes it so much fun.
Yeah. So he shoots Simon up with his rays.
Yeah. He puts him on a table. He straps him down and he shoots him up.
Yeah. He straps young Simon Williams to a table and shoots him up with some rays.
Which is so great.
Yeah.
And when he wakes up, he's Wonder Man.
Yeah, it's like a Captain America transformation. He goes from like a little guy to being big strong man.
Yes, yeah.
And they put him in a silly green and red outfit.
Yeah, and
it's Christmas time.
And Zemo says, "You're going to go be an Avenger, but you're going to work for me. Make sure." He's a double agent or he's a mole.
Yeah, it's like a proto
he's not literally a mole
kind of move.
He's
this is something that Zemo loves. Apparently,
he loves it absolutely. Yeah. And so you're going to go be a mole in the Avengers. But remember, you're going to work for me. And just to remind you, your ionic rays are going to kill you if you don't get this antidote that I have.
Right.
And I'll only give you that if you keep working for me.
Yeah.
And so Simon goes and works for the Avengers under the name of Wonder Man, and they just love him. He goes and fights some villain of the week. And then he tells the Avengers, I really want to be part of your team. Yeah. And they fall for it. And it's all very, very wacky.
Sounds good, chum.
Yeah, literally. And so he, joins the ranks of the team.
When Simon agrees to this initially, he doesn't agree to killing the Avengers. He just thinks, well, they're going to capture them, tell them, quit doing that hero stuff or something, and then we'll move on. So he's very naive in that, because then when Zemo does say, we're going to kill him, he's really unsure about that. So ultimately, there's a big old scuffle. Throughout this episode a lot, we're going to be saying there's a big old scuffle, because there's a lot of just random weird Avengers stuff that happens. And the important thing is just where Simon begins and ends up.
Yeah.
So it's a big scuffle. Simon saves, I think it's Iron Man, from getting killed by like a falling boulder or something, or a beam or whatever. Yeah. And himself dies in the process.
Yep.
So they're like, wow, this guy, he made a great choice. He saved us. He sacrificed himself. He was a hero.
That's the first issue with our friend
which
Simon
was, by
Wonderman.
the way, written by Stan Lee, penciled by Don Heck, inked by Dick Ayers, lettered by Artie Semak, a classic old comics letterer, and colored by Stan Goldberg.
Yes. Yeah.
Debuted in Avengers number 9 in 1964.
1964.
Good year.
Where were you in 1964?
Moon landing.
You were so early.
I was
prepped. You, buddy. Yeah, you sure were.
Okay, so you've got Avengers number 9, 1964, and he dies.
Yes.
So you're thinking, well, they're making a whole series about this guy who was in one issue of the Avengers in 1964.
But just wait.
Okay, that's weird. But actually, it's not entirely weird. 1976. So 12 years later, we've got Avengers 151. This is a landmark issue for the Avengers. You've probably seen the cover of this one. But the Avengers are figuring out, for the second or third time maybe, a new lineup.
Yes.
And it's a big official thing. I love that in this era of the Avengers, it's very like 1960s and stuff like that, in the sense that we have, or 70s at this point, but there's committees, we take notes, we have a team chairman. Yeah. You're not just the leader of the team, Iron Man, you're the chairman.
They take it so seriously.
Voted you in.
It's so like business-like.
Yeah, it's very funny. How many members, how many reserve members and stuff like that. It's very funny. It's like we're at a PTA meeting and they're all superheroes.
Yeah.
It's basically what the entire issue is about. There's no action in this. It's just like the news, and they're trying to figure out who stays and who goes, and is Hank going to stay on the team? Does Spider-Man want to join the team? Does Daredevil want to join the team? What's going to happen here? So the team that they do end up having is Captain America, Iron Man, Yellow Jacket, Wasp, Beast, Vision, and the Scarlet Witch. So in the final moments of the issue, the new team is announced, and bursting out of a crate that has been delivered to the Avengers mansion without any kind of
here's your box,
security measures or anything, no vetting, just a giant man-sized wooden crate.
Yeah. Not suspicious at all.
Out comes the long thought dead Wonder Man.
Well, we watched him die, says Captain America and probably everybody else.
Yeah, so he's like stumbling around. We get to 152. He's stumbling around and yelling at Vision that he stole his mind. Yeah, that kind of thing. It's really kind of weird and interesting.
Yes.
Because they're like, what's going on? He passes out, and they're starting to try to figure out, like, is he alive? Is he, what's going on with him? Mm-hmm. Scarlet Witch is very upset by this because she loves the Vision, and she knows that in the interim of all this stuff, that they use Simon's brain patterns to create Vision. Mm-hmm. So there's this weird dynamic there. Yeah. And she very quickly surmises that there has been some voodoo magic that has happened here.
Yes.
There's some very 1970s stuff going on here. So they go down to New Orleans and they fight Brother Talon? Black Talon? Right. I'm confusing Brother Voodoo, who is another character.
Yeah, with the Talon from DC.
Black Talon, who had actual chicken feet.
He had chicken feet. He had chicken hands. He had a chicken hood.
The real chicken feet concerned me. It didn't look like boots.
He was a little creep.
He had a weird actual chicken feet.
I liked it. I liked him. I think that more people should dress up like chickens.
Yeah. But it was strange.
It's very odd.
Basically, he brought him back to life, seemingly in one form or another, and they call him a Zuvembi. Oh no, he's a Zuvembi.
Yes, and the Black Talon mentions that he's working for somebody else, but doesn't say who.
Yes. Would you like to know what the heck is the deal with Zuvembi?
Let me know all about Zuvembi, as you are a voodoo expert.
I'm a voodoo expert.
Famous.
So it has nothing to do with voodoo.
Okay, good. That's what I like to hear.
So actually, this is a fun thing. You may have heard of this thing called the Comics Code Authority.
I have.
So for those who don't know, the Comics Code Authority was a thing that was created by, comics organizations to self-govern after the book, The Seduction of the Innocent, was written. I can't remember the name of the guy, but the guy who wrote that, basically his thesis is that comics were corrupting the youth and everything like that. So before censorship could come in, comics created their own censorship group. And part of that was that you couldn't do stuff with like vampires, werewolves, and zombies.
Yes.
So the rules were loosened up a little bit in 1971, which is why you do have reference in this to to Captain America fighting a werewolf.
Yes, true.
Or no, a vampire. A Nazi vampire,
That's
he
right,
says.
Nazi vampire.
And Iron Man fighting a werewolf.
That's how it was. Okay.
At this point, however, it was still not quite kosher yet to say zombie.
Mm-hmm.
So it is one of these weird, like the magia instead of the mafia, like we're just doing the same thing, but in an alternate reality version of it, essentially. So it's just a zombie.
Yeah.
We're basically, and if you look at modern books, they will refer to this as a zombie. Even in the 1990s series, there's like backup pages at the back that's like an interview Simon is doing with a publication, and he refers to this whole incident as being raised up as a zombie.
So where'd they get this word Zuvembi? Is it a real word from somewhere?
It was something that was started in Weird Tales, I think, which was a kind of an anthology horror book. I might have gotten that title wrong. If I did, I'll have the correct thing on the screen. And then it was just kind of used as like a placeholder through that time.
It's so interesting.
Wonder Man slowly comes out of this stupor and is just kind of okay.
Yeah.
And over the course of these however many issues, he starts to become more comfortable as a human being alive again, until finally his brother, who has now become the villain, the Grim Reaper, shows up and puts him and the Vision on trial.
Yes. Turns out the Grim Reaper hired the Black Talon to use his voodoo magic to bring back his brother.
Yeah.
And now he's putting the Vision and Simon himself on trial to figure out who his real brother is.
Yeah. Is this actually him?
Yep.
Or is this just another copy of a copy or whatever, and things like that?
Yeah, because they've made it clear at this point that yes, Simon's brainwaves were taken at just before his time of death.
Yeah.
To create the mind map for the Vision.
Yeah.
So the Grim Reaper is here trying to decide who his brother is, and he'll get to live, and the other one will die.
Yeah.
So that's his whole thing. It makes for a really fun trial.
It is a really fun issue.
And it feels like, I don't know, it feels like it has notes of, you can help me with this, the Star Trek episode where they're trying to figure out if Data is sentient or not.
Yeah.
Do you remember this one?
Yeah. He is an it and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Felt like that in that it's Vision and he's trying to defend himself and his own personhood, that kind of thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
it's a great episode. A lot of this stuff is either penciled by George Perez or John Buscema, so you're getting just master classes in artwork the entire time for all this stuff, which for some of these older issues is kind of necessary because you get a lot of weird, kind of just nonsense. Like you had to have a monthly book going forever. And so it's kind of hard to keep track. It feels like you're reading the story and there is a general through line, but then suddenly a new villain will just show up completely unrelated. Mm-hmm. And it's like we're losing track of the plot a little bit. And then you finally get to this one where you do progress the Wonder Man story a little bit, and it feels great. So in this kind of earlier era, Simon is unsure about who he is, about what's going on with him and everything like that. But he has realized, as Iron Man and Black Panther finally eventually do, that he is not fully human anymore. He isn't, like, they did some experiments and some tests and it didn't seem quite right. Something wasn't working. He obviously isn't dead, but he seems to not be, the data doesn't match up.
Yeah.
So there's this great moment where he takes off his glasses and he's just got these like energy beams basically for eyes now. So then you finally do get a moment after all of this back and forth of just constant chaos and craziness. They sit down and they do figure out like, what the heck is your deal, Simon Williams? Because up to this point, you kind of just get the indication of like, he's really strong. Apparently he's back from the dead. What else?
Which is also true. He's also very quick. He's almost invulnerable. You find out when the Grim Reaper attacks him with his scythe, and the scythe just breaks off.
Yeah,
which is not supposed to happen.
No.
Immense stamina. He could just go and go.
Yeah. He makes mention in a later book, I think, that he at some point realized that he no longer needs to eat or drink or breathe.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he can go to space in his like
or be
his
nearly
solo
drowned
series later.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All kinds of things. So yeah. What else? Immunity to disease and aging. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't age. He just stays the same throughout all time.
Yeah. And all of this is basically because he kind of just isn't human anymore. He is something in between.
Yeah.
He's some kind of just being of energy.
Yeah.
Which is part of why he can die multiple times and keep coming back to life. His energy fully dissipates and he returns, all this kind of stuff. But he's just made of this ionic energy. So in Avengers 164 to 166 in 1977, written by Jim Shooter, penciled by John Byrne, inked by Pablo Marcos, lettered by Denise Wohl, and colored by Phil Rachelson, he starts to finally kind of start to feel comfortable as a hero and as an Avenger. Because up to this point, he's kind of just fell into this because he came back to life and was with these people, doesn't know where he possibly belongs outside of that. Yeah. So he's like, I guess this is me now, but it was never him before. Like he became a superhero, died, and then as far as he knows, it's been a few days. So it's like, I'm just a guy. I'm now among all these people. I don't feel like I belong here. But over the course of this issue, he starts to kind of accept himself, which is really cool to see because these other characters accept him. And part of that is his friendship with Beast, because Beast also feels like he's getting sidelined by the other characters as they're doing the experiments on Wonder Man. They're not asking for his opinion, even though he's a scientist and all this different stuff. So yeah, I mean, Simon is continually battling this feeling of being inadequate, like he doesn't belong. He came back to life and there basically hasn't been a moment to stop and really process any of that. So Count Nefaria comes back, and in that battle, Simon is finally able to accept that whatever he was, now he's a hero and he needs to help. The Avengers trust him, so why shouldn't he trust himself? Mm-hmm. There's this great moment where he gives him the shield to use to fight because he says, hey, you're better off with this right now than I am. And that's just this moment where Simon kind of has a shift where he realizes, okay, I can do this. Like these people do want me here. They do trust me and I do belong. And it's a cool thing to see him over the course of these like 20 odd issues slowly settle into this thing.
Mm-hmm. It's very simple and it's very human.
Yeah.
Which like I think in a lot of times in any team up comic, but I think maybe especially in the Avengers comics when again, they're supposed to be these big, larger than life heroes that are, they're balancing the weight of the world. Simon's just kind of balancing the weight of himself.
Yeah. He's just a guy who happened to be in this situation.
Yeah.
He's not a great leader. He's a failed businessman and he's just here now.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do I do among these great scientists and leaders and powerful people? And he doesn't know what to do with that until this moment here. Yeah. So of course, over the course of the next, I don't know, again, like 15, 20 issues after that, he is just kind of a regular member of the team now. It's in the next issue after that he gets what we often see as the iconic suit of him in the big red jacket.
Great suit.
It's very good. And then in Avengers 181, Henry Gyrick has now become like basically a national security watchdog over the Avengers to make sure the Avengers have oversight and align with U.S. goals. So he forces the team to come down to just 7 members. Wonder Man is left out of this group, but he tells Beast basically that he's fine with that. Like he's become comfortable with who he is, but he still never felt quite at home with the Avengers. So he's like, I don't actually mind that much. I think I'm going to be an actor. Yeah. I think I'm going to pursue acting and see how that goes for me. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting for this character because you get to see this side of him that's like, he's not had a hand in choosing his circumstances at all up to this point. This business was handed to him. He didn't know how to handle that. It fell apart. These powers were thrown at him. He didn't know how to handle that. He dies. He comes back to life, did not choose to be alive again, and is suddenly an Avenger. Sort of gets to choose to stay with them, but also has nowhere else to go. So finally, in this moment, he's being forced again, like not his choice to leave, but he gets to choose what he does with that. So even in this acting thing, acting is interesting because he's now getting to, I don't know, like portray, he understands that being a superhero is kind of a performance.
Yes.
And is not just living out who you are as much as like being a public presence and everything like that. So his desire to be an actor kind of comes out of that a little bit.
Even his origin of being a villain at first was being...
It was a performance.
Yeah, being directed by Zemo to act a certain way and to be into, to like...
pretend to be a hero.
Yeah, play this part. Yeah. And so, which again, very much not his choice. That was the kind of like perverse version of it.
Yeah.
Now he's saying, I'm doing this myself.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's when you get to West Coast Avengers.
Yes, which I'll tell you, that's my favorite version, I think, of Wonder Man.
Really?
Because it's like, I think part of it is it doesn't have the weight of the Avengers necessarily.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a whole planetary thing. This is a new offshoot.
It's mildly lower stakes.
Yeah, and they're handing it off to Hawkeye for leadership, and that's very and he gets to explore his leadership abilities through it. Which that's really cool, and everybody gets kind of their character moment. So
there's a lot in the book of Hawkeye, at least in this initial 4-issue miniseries, of Hawkeye just being like, "Man, I used to be the one kicking up a stink, and Cap had to deal with me. Like, how did he do this? I must have been so annoying."
Yeah.
So West Coast Avengers, his return to heroism, he'd been trying to work as an actor, kind of didn't succeed in that, ended up working as a stuntman due to his, invulnerability. And then when he gets the call to join up, he says, okay, I guess this is maybe a lifeline. Maybe I'll hop in on this. So written by Roger Stern, penciled by Lincoln, Nebraska local Bob Hall, a good friend of mine, inker Brett Breeding, letterer Joe Rosen, and colored by Juliana Ferreter. I texted Bob.
Bob's a stud.
Bob is a sweet fellow.
Yeah.
I texted him and asked him if he had any thoughts about Wonder Man in relation to his run specifically on this book. Would you like to know what he told me?
Please tell me what Bob said.
Yeah, I said, hey, Bob, we're recording an episode on our show tomorrow, delay, about Wonder Man for the upcoming show, going through who he is, what his deal is, etc. Wondered if you have any insight about him in your West Coast Avengers run. Any little stories behind the scenes, etc. Would be cool if you have them. No big deal if nothing major comes to mind. So he said, don't have much to say. He was a perfect fit for the West Coast, because both personality-wise and because he was an invulnerable stuntman. I rather liked the absurd red bush jacket, eccentric, but way too hot for LA. I was too timid at that point to suggest costume changes. I was bolder by the time I drew Emperor Doom, and 1D was in many ways the star of that one. Much more character development and no red jacket. So that's where we have
Bob Hall. What a stud. Thanks, Bob, for being part of this and giving us that insight. It's so cool to hear from the actual voices that took part in the creation of this stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, because even honestly, the lines in this book, I'm not just glazing this because I know Bob.
No, I know.
The lines in this book are genuinely great.
Yes, absolutely.
Sometimes I'm reading some of these classic books. We're talking about the Wolverine books and stuff like that. You read some of these random books from this era and everything. It's not always great stuff. Some of it's a little goofy, a little janky, a little too loose. Bob's pencils in this are fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really, really good stuff. The layouts, the staging of everything, it just flows so well.
Yeah.
It's really good stuff. Bob is underrated, honestly.
Yeah, sure is. Yeah. The jacket looks great too.
I like the jacket.
I hope he never feels bad about leaving the jacket in, because
no, it's good.
It's the coolest and most 70s thing. Yeah, it's fun.
It is very good.
Awesome.
So yeah, the acting didn't pan out. Simon comes and joins up the Avengers. After rejoining, Simon basically loses track of the first villain that he sees, the Blank, which is kind of an interesting character. He's just like a silhouette of a guy with like screen tone.
Yeah.
Just kind of fun.
It's a cool, I feel like the Wonder Man series, like nonstop comes back to like Hollywood tropes like that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Like it just fits him very well. Yeah.
But Simon, he just gets really disappointed in himself. He's been a failure as an actor. He feels like he's already failing as an Avenger. Like this felt like a last chance to him. Yeah. And now he's already screwing it up. Tigra is another character on this team that doesn't quite feel like she belongs. They end up having a talk on the beach and kind of coming to terms with they just kind of have to keep moving and keep doing it.
Yeah.
That if they have been asked to be here, that they're wanted and that they're supposed to be here.
Their friendship is great. Yeah.
It is really nice.
I like them a lot. And she's a good stand-in for Beast while he's not around for Wonder Man.
Yeah.
It's cool that there's somebody else there.
But it's cool. So, I mean, just through this first 4-issue series, Wonder Man does finally kind of come to terms with being a hero and being an Avenger in a real way.
Yeah.
Like he's no longer feeling this big imposter syndrome. This is just what he does. And then there's a long, long run of, it starts out as a West Coast Avengers, eventually becomes Avengers West Coast.
Yeah.
U.S. Agent joins the team. Scarlet Witch is on the team and stuff. It goes for a very, very long time and ends with that team being disbanded in a very fiery, explosive, emotionally way between the base team and that team. But that's kind of one of the big places that Simon just has lived for a long time. And then, you have the series in the 90s and he was in House of M in a pretty major role. He's popped up in modern stuff quite a bit. Like he's a much more important, integral character, I think, than people realize. But that's kind of the general history of who Simon is. He's a very emotional character. He's a character that you have a lot of feeling for. Or in the sense that you feel for him. He feels like a very normal guy who's just had these circumstances thrust upon him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I don't want to miss in West Coast Avengers too, while we're talking about it. Mm-hmm. You get the Vision Quest storyline, which is
later on.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't know, Vision Quest is going to be this I think Marvel's doing either a movie or a miniseries. I don't know what they're
doing a series of some sort, which with this Wonder Man show, it'll be interesting to see how he does or does not matter.
Yes. I'm so curious. Yeah, absolutely. And it's, everything with the MCU now is loosely based and that sort of thing. But
I mean, you call Daredevil Born Again, but you already adapted the story Born Again in season 3 of Daredevil, and you're just calling this Born Again because the show's back.
You've heard this many times on camera from Marshall. Yeah. Imagine how many times I've heard it off camera.
Yeah, they've never actually directly adapted any of the things they say they're
not really
adapting.
Which is fine. They have to adapt. It's a big adaptation with a capital A. But anyhow, you get Vision Quest like in the series that comes from this run in the West Coast Avengers, in which Wonder Man plays a heavy hand.
Yeah.
In that, again, they kind of play back into this discovery that the Vision is kind of Wonder Man's brain. It's his mind, not his memories necessarily.
No,
but it is Simon's brain.
It's like the same starting point, but a different life lived.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. And so the Vision gets kidnapped, taken.
Yeah.
I won't get into the whole plot and everything like that, but there is this great part where they are asking Simon to submit his brain patterns once again to remake the Vision.
And he says no.
He says no. And it's this really emotional moment where he's telling Wanda, like, I don't think you really know what you're asking of me, because the Vision and I were connected, like in more ways than just one. Yeah. And we had this very like deep and profound connection. And so I'm in grief too, in a different way from you, Wanda, that kind of thing. It's this really, really cool moment where you see a lot of depth to the character. You just see this culmination of all the ways, again, that he is that Simon is afraid of being not human.
Yeah.
And is afraid of like allowing the Vision to be that again, or to feel that way again.
Yeah.
Just really, really engaging. And so I'm doubting that they're going to do anything quite like that with the Vision Quest series.
Yeah, I don't know.
On screen, but that all the more reason to go read it in the comics because I think it went really well.
Yeah, and I think it's drawn by John Buscema also.
Yeah.
Which is, again, one of the all-time greats. I think there's an artist edition, a John Buscema artist edition, and there is a good amount of Vision Quest in there.
Yeah.
There's that famous cover of Vision on the big on the cover with his arm out and stuff like that.
And Wanda's like surprised to see him. Good. That's
when he becomes the emotionless white Vision, right?
Yes. Yeah. Emotionless, at least to begin with. Yeah. So very, very cool.
Sweet, man. But yeah, Wonder Man is cool. It's a really interesting character. I've really enjoyed learning about his history and going through all of this stuff. I'm really, honestly, kind of excited for this show. I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I've liked the direction that Marvel TV has been going, not TV specifically, but Marvel Studios has been going. I guess we'll see if that keeps going. The trailers make it look pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it will relate to the way he is or isn't in the comics. He could have been a villain in the past. Maybe he was a villain and just on a lower level. Maybe he did fight Iron Man. It doesn't matter. Like, things can happen off screen.
Yeah, it's true.
Like all the Mysterio stuff, that was all off screen.
He was in the background all along.
Yeah.
It's true.
So who knows? But that's it. Next week, we will have our review.
Yeah, we're going to see how it goes, and we're going to let you know all about it.
We're going to let you know all about it. And what you can let us know all about is what you thought of this episode in the comments. And thanks for listening and watching. Thanks for checking out the Marvel Color episode that we just put out. A lot of you really liked that one. This is the first thing that'll be coming out after that. Huge thanks for all the comments on that, for all of the love on that. It's been really cool to see, really cool to hear from you guys. And while we are hearing from you guys, while we got you on the hook, what would you like us to talk about?
Please give us ideas. We like coming up with our own ideas. We know what we like to talk about, but we want to talk about what you want to hear.
Yeah.
So let us know.
We've got a kind of a schedule set right now, but if you have something that's interesting, we can, change that up at any point.
Yeah. Things
can move around. We haven't done a ranking episode in a while. If there's something you'd like us to rank, if there's something, it doesn't have to be going over a specific comic or something, like we just did the history of Wonder Man. We're going to talk about our favorite Wolverine books in a couple weeks, that kind of thing.
We are.
So a lot of that stuff is, we can do a lot of different things. So just let us know, what do you like about the show? What would you like to see more of? And that's all.
Yeah,
so,
keep in touch. We love being part of the community with you guys. We're not here without you. And so, yeah, reach out and let us know. Follow us on socials. Follow us at, all the links are available. You know where to find them. I'll also link my book. Look at this Wonder Man artwork that Marshall made. Bang.
Did I send you that?
Look at his sexy red jacket.
Yeah, I did send you that.
He looks so good.
Yeah.
With the goggles.
Pretty good. The glasses.
Goggles, sunglasses.
It could be goggles.
They could be.
You didn't ask.
I'll ask.
So rude.
Him. Ask Bob. He's awake.
Excuse me.
Oh my goodness.
It's not quite 10 yet. It's not his awake time.
Yeah, he's still working.
Yeah.
Thanks again, everybody. Hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you next week, and keep reading comics. We love you.
Good luck.